Guys, today I'm even more excited than usual to film because I got my first request to do a video on something. Yay! To review the foundation, the Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder. So we're going to be getting into that today. If you're new here, hello, my name is Rachel. I do all kinds of content on my channel, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I've already went ahead and moisturized my face using the Pacifica Vegan Collagen Everyday Lotion, and I let that set in. I'm not going to use a primer today. I do want to see how this powder holds up on its own before I go using product underneath of it. This I've had for a while and I've used, and I think I was mostly using it as like a finishing powder. I don't know how the match is going to be. Not terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead, it comes with this applicator and I have used that for touch-ups. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to apply it with this today and see what happens. As we get older, it's not always the best to use a powder because it shows literally everything on your face. But this one has gotten a lot of hype, so maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it's like, I'm trying to feel if it feels like creamy. I'm on a limb here. It's definitely covering. I'm just gonna go ahead and buff that a little bit with a powder brush. Okay, and it's looking just a little bit light for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and warm that up with a little bit of bronzer, put some blush on, and then finish my lower lash line, and I'll be back. I got the rest of my face on. I did use that same House Laboratories combo that I used in my last video, and I set it with a little MAC Fix Plus. I did use all powder product, powder bronzer, powder highlighter, powder blush, and then just the setting spray, because I wasn't sure. I actually need to look into this. We're learning together. Can you use cream product over a powder foundation? I know it kind of looks yucky sometimes when you use a cream over a powder, but I didn't know if that counted for powder foundation, because otherwise I don't know if I put my concealer on underneath where I put on the foundation, because normally I would do it reverse. So I'm gonna do some research on that and we'll try that tomorrow. But for today, I'm gonna show you what we have so far just after application, and I'll show you in natural light. Okay, here's how we're looking in natural light. It's hard for me to see out here, but I'll have to go in and review the footage, so I can't give you any commentary, but I'm gonna do the unthinkable and step out into sunlight like a Colin so you can see all the dirty gritty.
This is what I am.
Okay, this is 3 hours later in the car waiting on the kids to get done at church, and this is what we're looking like. I'm actually a little bit impressed with this. There's some areas on my forehead that are looking a little dry and patchy, but I think I could fix that with using a moisturizing primer underneath tomorrow, so I think I'm going to go ahead and try that, but I'm intrigued. I really had in my mind I wasn't going to like a powder foundation. Just wanted to do a check-in. It was weird around here today. I think like where my skin was a little bit dry. I don't know if you can see that. And it didn't really cover as much as I would have liked it to, but it actually didn't look terrible. I was reading online that it said powder really gets into your fine lines, and I seen that, and I'll put a picture where I'm highlighting the area so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You can see like this looks super crepey and nasty. I don't know. I will insert a clip because there's another one, an Age Perfect one that I was thinking about trying, and it's a cream to powder, so it might be a little bit better. This eyelash is driving me nuts. It's so wonky. I don't know what's going on there. But it's a cream to powder, so I don't know. And like I said, it's an Age Perfect, so it might be like less luminous than the other Age Perfect, the liquid that I tried. So that might be the next powder that I need to try. All right, welcome back. It's day 2 of the Infallible challenge. I went ahead and did my eyeshadow and I hydrated my face. Today I thought I'm going to use a hydrating primer underneath since the powder seemed a little drying, and see how that works out. All right, so I have this hydrating face primer from Ulta that I'm going to go ahead and apply. I'm just going to apply that using my fingers, even though I hate doing that. So that had time to set while I was taking care of a crisis. Now I'm going to apply the foundation. And I used the sponge mostly yesterday. Why am I talking like that? I used the sponge mostly yesterday. Today I'm just going to use a big powder brush to apply. I wish that had a mirror in it. Well, it does. Forgot it does have a mirror in it. It's kind of annoying to flip it back and forth though. So I've been watching a Wayne Goss tutorial, and he was saying how with powder you can get like a perfect photo finish if you keep buffing and buffing and buffing it. However, I tried it for family photos one year and I just looked like cake face, so I'm not sure I had the technique right. Okay, so clearly getting a more sheer coverage with the brush. So I'm gonna take the sponge and kind of pat onto places that are problem areas for me that I like to have covered. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of buff that the rest of the way out. Bronze up my face a little bit again. Just using the Makeup Revolution bronzer. I think it's a little too orange for me, but it is what it is. Just gonna use that kind of as a blush as well. And I lied, I'm gonna use blush too. Gonna go on with this pinky shade, pinky peachy. Just right on the apples there. Then I'm gonna highlight, of course. And this is also a Makeup Revolution highlighter. I didn't use a brow highlight today, and use this as a brow highlight as well. I'm gonna put some mascara on the lower lash line. All right, and for the lips, I'm gonna use this Milani Fruit Fetish lip oil I've been wanting to try. It's not really the right color, but since when have I let that stop me? I like the sheer wash of color. And I like how it feels on the lips. It's not for the fact if I get any videos out as a sheer act of God. I'm gonna go ahead and finish with some finishing spray. And this is the finished look. I will check out in natural light once my face is completely dry and you guys can take a look at what we have. All right, I legitimately had to sneak out of my house like I'm on house arrest to get away from my son, but wanted to do a check-in. This is 2 hours in. I feel like the powder was light, but I think it oxidized a tiny bit. And I'm not actually hating how it looks with the moisturizing primer underneath of it. I don't think it looks bad, especially on my skin because I have a lot of spots and aging and wrinkles, and for a powder it's not settling as bad today since I used the primer underneath. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with this so far, so I'll check in a little bit later. We are on hour 9. It's been a busy day. We went to Easter dinner at my aunt's house, and I really like how I'm looking. Liking the powder. It's definitely not full coverage. It definitely settles, but I think that putting it on with the brush was a lot better than putting it on with the powder puff. I got more coverage with the powder puff, but I feel like it looked cakier with that. But yeah, overall, I'm kind of impressed. I thought it would definitely look a lot worse than it did. Well, I should say I thought it was going to be bad, and it's not bad. Let me go out in natural light so you can see. It's just everything you hear about powder is like a no-no for mature skin, but I don't think that it looks terribly bad. Definitely not covering everything like I wish it was, but I also don't want to look like cake face. So, all right, I'll check in a little bit later. Hey guys, just getting ready for bed, so I wanted to do a final check-in on the foundation. Here's what we're looking like. It's one of those, it's like so light, I don't even know if it's still left on my face. So I'm gonna do a little wipe to see what we got. So there is definitely some on the face. It's just a very sheer coverage. It looks nice. I definitely think it looked better when I put it on with the brush. Definitely think it looked better with the hydrating primer underneath. And I definitely am interested in trying this other product that it's the Age Perfect, like for like the one I tried in the liquid form, but in a cream to powder. And I read online about what you can use over top of a powder foundations powder product. So if you have like any kind of cream product, like concealer, cream highlight, cream blush, any of that stuff needs to be mostly used underneath. Otherwise it says you can end up with like a muddy, disgusting mess. So yeah, that's it. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my face and I'll see you in the next video. Love you guys. Thanks for support. Bye.